Hey guys, I am here. I am here. There we go. Here, there's something for you to look at while we are getting set up. We got our rose quartz and we have our the carnelian. There we go. Got the carnelian and the rose quartz. How is everyone? How is everyone? I'm doing okay. I had sort of a rough day today, but hey, stuff happens. And that's how it goes. Stuff happens and you keep moving. So, gonna wait, see if anyone comes into the chat room. We're gonna do our hexagram reading and our Tao Te Ching reading. And let's see. Just gonna give it a few minutes. And then I'm gonna bring this up on YouTube. Alrighty. Let's see. I am not seeing. Oh, there we go. Okay. So. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. We're gonna give it a couple of moments, see who comes in the chat room. Let me figure out what hexagram were we reading yesterday. Oh yeah, I remember. It was hexagram. Welcome, CB. Welcome, welcome. So we were on hexagram number 16, motivation and enthusiasm. And I'm going to read number 17 for us today. So we're going to get that. And where are my cards? How's it going? Okay, well, I'm glad that you are here. And usually, to be quite honest, I'm an early to bed person. Oh, welcome. Welcome, Modwits. I'm a early to bed sort of person, generally speaking, but my energy is in such a place where I don't know. I just decided I was not ready for bed, and wanted to come on and do some readings. And what am I doing? Let me get out hexagram number 17. So, of course, I did not prepare for this before I turned on. Eventually, my brain is going to catch up. There we go. Flowers. Okay. Missed your morning of late. Let's see. I think I did a morning yesterday. I didn't get a morning today. Today was very, how can I say it? Traumatic is not the right word. It's sort of like when you give someone your whole heart and you do your best to be there for you, and because they're not quite right, it's like almost like casting your pearls before swine. Forgive me for saying that. I don't mean in a judgmental way, but basically that's what it is. And had some awful stuff happen today, but it's good because things happen for a reason, and sometimes life just sort of clears the space for you. And the most beautiful part about it is, again, affirmed and more than affirmed, is the fact that my intuition is always strong, always strong, always strong. When they say hope floats, love makes you want to believe in things, and you give it your best until there's nothing else to give anymore. So that's how it is. So anywho, welcome Critical Break. Welcome Modwiz. Okay. Madwis says he's an owl, so he catches the night. I am what would I be if I'm a morning? I'm a morning glory? No, that's not a bird. What bird? Well, I'm not a rooster, but I'm definitely a morning person. All right. So I have the card. I have all of that. A lark. Okay, so I'm a lark, an early bird. Okay. So thank you guys for being with us this evening and sharing your energy. Instead of holding on to any stagnant energy, I just wanted to release it and wanted to do what it is I do best and connect with you. So you're looking at, and I did cut my nails today, although I didn't get a manicure. Anyway, I'm not going to harp on my nails. I got my rose quartz here for unconditional love, and carnelian, a beautiful red stone, all about stepping into your power. Never forget your power and never allow anyone to make you feel less than. There we go. So let's take a nice, deep, centering breath to welcome us into this sacred space. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, welcome. I'm Tamu Agina, Priestess Heart, and I'm very happy that you're here. And I was just looking to see if I could find my yarrow stalks. I can't find them. Doesn't matter. We're not going to use them. Okay, so today our hexagram is number 17, following. And speaking of following, I hope that even if you aren't able to catch the live, that you check out our reading. We're steadily going through. Where's the book? Here it is. We have been going through the past week. Let's get in there. Seeking the spirit of the Book of Changes, 8 days to practicing a shamanic YiJing. This is by Master Zhang Wu. Very deeply, beautifully written book. We went through the tea ceremony. We learned about really, truly tasting the tea, really savoring it and really connecting with the chi of the tea. And, we talked about how the ancient Wu, the ancient Chinese shamans, learned of the universe, of the Tao, by going to the center of the universe and starting there. And the center of the universe being the center of the physical self as sort of a map, and laying out the 5 directions on the body and going within. And that is how they were able to ascertain the secrets of the universe. And hence you have, the Yellow Emperor, the YiJing, you have the Meridian system and all of that. And I just thought that was really fascinating, because when you think about it, the universe is infinite. Now, I've heard some people say that the universe can't possibly be infinite. There has to be an edge, but the universe is infinite. Well, where's the center of the universe? The center of the universe is you. The center of the universe is me. The center of the universe is wherever you are, because it is your center. Okay, so before we get started with that hexagram, we're going to do our reading from Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching, a book about the way and the power of the way, by Ursula Le Guin. And this is her translation. And right next to me, let's see, I have lots of translation. I'm not going to pick up Stephen Mitchell. What I like about Stephen Mitchell, he does tend to try to give a very, almost a gender neutral translation, a more feminine version of translation. And I said, okay, well, how about we just move away from that and just go with a translation from a woman. We're going to use that. And we will also use the Shambhala classic translated by John C.H. Wu. Okay. So I will read Ursula first, and I just opened the book, which is what I like to do, prefer to do. Let me get a little close. I'm on my cell phone. For whatever reason, I've decided that I don't always feel like being in front of the camera. You know, that vanity has got to stop. So I need a break from being in front of the camera. Okay, so I just opened the book, and we're going to go right to the Tao Te Ching, chapter 15. People of power. People of power. Once upon a time, people who knew the way were subtle, spiritual, mysterious, penetrating, unfathomable. Since they're inexplicable, I can only say what they seemed like. Cautious, oh yes, as if wading through a winter river. Alert, as if afraid of the neighbors. Polite and quiet, like house guests. Elusive, like melting ice. Blank, like uncut wood. Empty, like valleys. Mysterious. Oh yes, they were like troubled water. Who can by stillness, little by little, make what is troubled grow clear? Who can by movement, little by little, make what is still grow quick? To follow the way is not to need fulfillment. Unfulfilled, one may live on needing no renewal. So there you go. That is Ursula Le Guin. She is the authoress of Earthsea series, which was written back in the 70s. So you might want to check that out. I know Sci-Fi did a television series on that. I never got to check it out because I didn't have cable, but I hear it wasn't all that great, but the actual book series is. So there you go, Ursula Le Guin. All right, and so we're going to turn to our masculine translation with John C.H. Wu. And welcome, Seely. Okay, so we are chapter 15. And I think next time I speak with my second son, I'm going to ask him to help me with some of the Mandarin, some of the Chinese pronunciation, make sure I'm pronouncing these Chinese words correctly. He took a year and a half of Mandarin Chinese in university. Now he's in grad school. So here we go. 15. Follow along in the Chinese if you care to. 15. The ancient adepts of the Tao were subtle and flexible, profound and comprehensive. Their minds were too deep to be fathomed. Because they are unfathomable, one can only describe them vaguely by their appearance. Hesitant, like one wading a stream in winter. Timid, like one afraid of his neighbors on all sides. Cautious and courteous, like a guest. Yielding, like ice on the point of melting. Simple, like an uncarved block. Hollow, like a cave. Confused, like a muddy pool. And yes, who else could quietly and gradually evolve from the muddy to the clear? Who else could slowly but steadily move from the inert to the living? He who keeps the Tao does not want to be full, but precisely because he is never full, he can always remain like a hidden sprout and does not rush to early ripening. Ooh, I like that. Wow. That's deep. And I like the balance of having both because, like I said, when you're, Chinese, and especially ancient Chinese, there's a lot of depth there. And if you're not reading something in the original language, you really miss out a lot. And so when you have multiple translations, you remember earlier in the year and last year when I would read the Tao, I would read through 5 translations in one sitting. And I might get back to that because I think it's a beautiful thing because anytime a person's doing a translation, they're always doing it through their own filter. Whether they decide to use the word hot or warm, or to use the word soft or fuzzy, it's all about the makeup and the constitution of in the consciousness of the person doing the translation. So when you have multiple translations, I believe you get a wider range of feeling of what potentially was meant in the original. So there you go. That's my long-winded response. And I really like that too as well, Madwiz. Thank you. Okay. So there we go. Finish with that. Let me set that book aside. Okay, so what we have up next is I need a sip of water. Okay, so what we have up next is we have our hexagram number 17. And this is a Tao of Oracle card. Tao Oracle or Tao of, no, it's Tao Oracle. And it's basically an illustrated version of the Tao Te Ching. I don't use the book that came along with it, but I love the illustrations, the artist in me. I really, I just love it. That's all I can say. So following. So let's look at the key words of following. Number 17, loyalty, adaptability, cooperation, trust, reliability, sensitivity to others, service, receiving, guidance. So let me just check the chat room. Let's see. Madwiz says, multiple translations is like shamans sharing what they saw while journeying. A bigger and more coherent comprehension can result. Right, yes. Because it's all about perception. It's their own perception. And the beautiful thing about Chinese being written with the kanji, they're pictograms. And so a sentence can have multiple different meanings to it. And I just think that's really beautiful because they're actually pictures that you have to interpret what that picture means. And say if you're not in order to translate it or even read it properly, you kind of have to know the context of what is written. Okay, so when we look at this hexagram, following number 17, hexagram number 17 is made up of 2 bagua, the one at the top, right there, the one at the top, whoop, right there, that's lake, and the one at the bottom is thunder. So lake over thunder. And I'm going to first, let's go to, okay, so I'm looking at Benabel Wynn's translation, and this is her short form translation. Again, you can check benabelwynn.com for her YiJing and practitioners course, which is a very relatively low rate, and you get a short form book and a longer one that has an entire translation. So we're looking at the Bagua of lake. Okay, you have a feminine line, and then you have two masculine line. I'm going to use the pointer. Feminine line, yin, and then two yang. And these are the lines are called yao. And this is the bone script, the ancient seal script. So this is the original way of depicting the word lake. So this is Dwi. How to pronounce it, Dwi. So this represents a fertile womb, receptivity for further growth, nourishment, receiving, pleasure, tranquility, devotion, joy, satisfaction, stagnation, openness, intuition, and vision. Welcome, Oswald. Welcome. Welcome, Christina. Okay, so why is the word leaving my mind? Metal. Metal is an element. Yes, so the element is metal. The direction is west. The season, yellow path, and autumn equinox. And the other season, low shoe, 9 halls, cardinal winter. Life aspect, children, fertility, nurturing, which makes sense because it's like a fertile womb. Medical, it's related to the mouth, oral cavity, digestive and reproductive systems, chronic pain or disease, nutrition, sexuality. The chakra is the third eye. The animal, sheep or tiger. Isn't that interesting? Aren't those like two diametrically opposed animals, sheep or tiger? Or maybe they're more alike than we realize. We've got to look into that. The archetype is the diviner. The immortal is Zhang Li Huan, patron of warriors, ceremonial magicians, and alchemists. And the empowered state is the lake hexagram. So that basically means the double hexagram lake. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on one second. Let's see what 58 looks like. Oh, I was right. That's the empowered. So that's the double hexagram, and it means mirth or joyous exchange. Okay, so the next, the lower bagua is thunder. So let's turn to the thunder. We're going to look at what makes up this bagua, this gua, and then we're going to read the translation. Thunder, Zhen, is made up of double. Oh, it's really interesting because this is actually the reverse. I didn't even think about that at first. Where's the image? So the lake was a single yin line accompanied by 2 double yang lines. And thunder is 2 yin accompanied by the foundation of which is a yang line. Isn't that interesting? Because you think of thunder. Thunder is very, actually, I guess I'm thinking of lightning, but that is very interesting. Thunder being a lot of feminine energy in thunder I'm looking at. That's a lot of feminine energy, but the foundation is masculine. And so I guess I can see from that the sound, that really deep sound, is that masculine energy. But then there's that spaciousness around that sound. I can see that as being the feminine. So thunder, Zhen, to shake or arouse, inciting movement, taking the initiative, excitation, revolution, division, catalyst, and impetus, stimulation, impulse. Thunder is what gets you moving. The element, wood, direction, east. Summer solstice, cardinal autumn. Life aspect, family, ancestry. Medical, foot, legs, tendons, gallbladder, liver, sensory, motor system, sympathetic nervous system, physical pain. Chakra, throat chakra. Animal, dragon. The archetype, emperor. The immortal is, what does that say? Cao Guo Ju, patron of nobles and aristocracy. So just want to look at that lake once again. Wow, these are almost like the direct opposites of each other. You have east and west. Thunder is in the east. The lake is in the west. The life aspect is interesting. Life aspect for lake is children, fertility, nurturing. For thunder, it's family, ancestry. And then for lake, it's the mouth and oral cavity. And for thunder, is the foot and the legs. That's very interesting. And then you have the third eye and the throat chakra. So make of it what you wish. So now we're going to turn to 17. Here you go. 17. And you can see right up here, this is the seal script, the ancient way of writing this hexagram. Writing it is here. This is the name of the hexagram. Sui. Sui. I have to ask my son. I believe that's Sui. To lead. First, you must serve. A follower becomes the leader. Followers must come to you by their own volition. Here, let me put the image so you can see that. Followers must come to you by their own volition. You cannot secure them by force or cunning. Force them, and they will resist. Serve them, and they will serve you. Reward loyalty with generosity. Trust in your own excellence. The leader acts with logic and detaches from emotion, but inspire your followers to act with emotion and detach from logic. Adapt to the circumstances. Change and perseverance bring you prosperity. Unlikely folk become your allies. Diversity is how you accomplish your objective. Okay, and I know a couple of times I kept mentioning Kursan Huang and not having his translation with me. I'm going to bring that out. All right. Oh, let me not put that there. That's making too much glare. Someone chastised me about referring to Brian Brown Walker's YiJing as a translation when it is in fact an interpretation, and that is true. However, I will maintain that still, especially when you're translating from an Eastern language like ancient Chinese, in the end, you're still making an interpretation of it, because to get an exact translation, it's not going to make sense to the Western reader. So there has to be a certain amount of interpretation. So we're going to check out what physicist Kursan Huang translated, how he translated the YiJing, which he actually did a literal translation of the YiJing. And this is the late Professor Dr. Huang. He was a professor at MIT, born in China. Kursan Huang is professor of physics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, as we refer it today as MIT. In the YiJing, the Oracle, he departs from his customary activities in theoretical physics in order to revisit the Chinese classics, which he has loved since he was a boy. He has since transitioned on. So we're going to go ahead and look at his literal translation so that you can get a feel. And what's cool about this is also a very thin book. And you notice that most of the books like Wilhelm, Huang, Karcher, all of their translations are super thick because there's massive amounts of, what's the word I'm looking for? Commentary in there. What book am I reading from? What was I reading from? I was reading from Benabel Wynn's translation of the YiJing. Okay, 17. Here we go. Dr. Huang, Professor Huang, translated 17 as, instead of followers, he translated the chase, lake over thunder, sign of the great sacrifice, auspicious omen, no troubles. Okay, so he basically takes the Bagua, the upper trigram, well, that's the lower one actually, And wait a minute, that's kind of confusing me. What is he doing? Wow, okay. I'm a bit confused because this seems upside. Oh, I know what he's doing. You start at the bottom. The bottom is the first one. So starting with thunder. This is the first line you translate. This is the second line. This is the third line, and that's what he's done. And then the top one is lake, and so he's got the bottom one, number 4, 5, and 6. And over here you see the original Chinese. And then over here you see his translation, literal translation, okay? So the first line and I have to think upside down, the first line of the lower trigram, number 1, the yang line, is literally translated as a house damaged, good omen, get out and achieve. The second line is a yin line, holding the boy and losing the man. The third line in thunder, holding the man and losing the boy, give chase and get what you sought, good omen for settling down. And then we move up here to lake, and we're starting with the fourth line, which is the line at the bottom, falling into a trap during the chase, unfortunate omen. On the open road, punishments await to expose the guilty. Fifth line, a penalty drink at the banquet, good omen. Sixth line, which is a yin line, yang and yin. Sixth line, imprisoned first, then set free. The king makes offerings at West Mountain. Okay, you hear that? You'll be like, what? What the fudge was that about? This is why I contest that every translation of the YiJing is an amalgamation of translation / interpretation, period. That's all I'm going to say. So there you go. There you go. I would highly suggest that you do get a copy of this because, again, it's a literal translation. It's good to get that and really meditate on those verses and see what those ancient verses to you and their literal translation actually speaks to you. And as you become more adept with the YiJing, as I'm hopefully working towards, nowhere near there, but little by little I'm grasping and understanding, and then it fleets away and then I'm back at it again. You'll be able to create your own translation. The goal is to connect with that ancient wisdom because it resides within you. So translate it for you and then use your own translation and you will never go wrong. So that's Kursan Hong. And I got this one off of Amazon. So we're going to end with my favorite inspirational interpretation. There you go. There you go. Brian Brown Walker. This is a nice little pocketbook. We're going to go to 17. All right, Sui. Let's see if I can put these together so we can be able to see them all at once. Okay, whoops. Sui, following. Do not argue with what is. Simply follow the progress of truth. Wisdom teaches us that in order to obtain a following, the aid and agreement of others, we must first ourselves practice following. This is done by steadfastly observing what is correct and putting it into practice. In other words, we follow the sage. This hexagram comes to remind you to make it possible for others to be loyal and helpful to you by re-devoting yourself to following inner truth. Let me read that once again. This hexagram comes to remind you to make it possible for others to be loyal and helpful to you by re-devoting yourself to following inner truth. So I see that as if you really want to truly have people hear you and take you seriously and trust what you're saying, you got to get connected with your own inner truth. It is essential now to quietly accept the way that things are. This does not necessarily mean that you endorse or celebrate current circumstances, just that you do not resist them. Acceptance is the most fundamental principle in the philosophy of the YiJing. To resist events is similar to resisting the turning of the earth. You only exhaust yourself in vain. To resolve a difficult situation, follow the good within yourself. Whatever correction is necessary is made possible in this way. The use of force or cunning will only breed resentment and misfortune. Peace blooms quickest where proper principles are given expression. Leading others is a delicate art, and our motto is is always the sage. Proceed gently with balance, staying unattached to results and free of egotistical pretensions. Lead the people by following the sage, and a good result will always be had. I like how Benabel Wynn, in her translation, she uses the translation sage, and that sage also is referring to, like your higher self, that part of you that knows what's best. Okay, so we have about 7 people in the chat. If anyone would like for me to pull a card for them, let me know. And while we wait on that, I will go ahead and do our Kuan Yin reading, because I think we have Christina Thompson here, and I know that she loves Kuan Yin. So we're going to do Kuan Yin of Treasures. And this is a reading from Kuan Yin, Accessing the Power of the Divine Feminine. And let me take this one. Isa, welcome. Zakia, welcome. Okay, Kuan Yin of Treasures. Prosperity. Okay. Kuan Yin sits upon a rock. Her right hand touches its surface, while her left arm rests upon her knee. Her pose is relaxed and peaceful. In this form, she protects treasure hunters who have lost their way at sea and are prone to falling prey to evil forces. On the worldly level, we all strive for prosperity. Everyone has to secure a livelihood, and it is not wrong to enjoy mundane riches. However, if we strive exclusively for these possessions, in the long run, we will become exhausted and dissatisfied. Kuan Yin not only protects us during our search for earthly treasures, she also prevents us from getting lost and falling prey to negative forces. Ultimately, we can also gain spiritual treasures in life. Further, She sends us the precious message that the most valuable treasure is not to be found outside, but deeply within ourselves. Isn't it interesting how that kind of connects with the YiJing that the hexagram number 17. If you want people to follow you, you got to first follow your own inner truth. Can I get an amen? All right, where was I? All right, you know how I like to go off track. Okay. This is from the Lotus Sutra, chapter 25. Suppose there were 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000 living beings who, seeking for gold, silver, lapis lazuli, seashell, agate, coral, amber, pearls, and other treasures, set out on the great sea. And suppose a fierce wind should blow their ship off course, and it drifted to the land of Rakshas demons. If among these people there is even just one who calls the name of Bodhisattva, one who hears the cries of the world, then all these people will be delivered from their troubles and Rakshas. And I always look at Kuan Yin as, okay, she is the Bodhisattva of compassion. She is the Chinese goddess or Bodhisattva of mercy and compassion. But she is also that part of each and every one of us, that Bodhi of mercy and compassion that we must learn to nurture. Because remember the analogy I always use with the steward or the stewardess. Yes, I'm old-fashioned. I like those words. I prefer that to flight attendant. The steward or the stewardess stands up in front and tells you to put your oxygen mask on first and then help the one next to you. So in order to be able to show mercy and compassion for others, we must first show mercy and compassion for ourselves. And Kuan Yin is that Bodhi. Bodhi means seed. Is that Bodhi of mercy and compassion that we have latent inside of us, and paying devotion to it and connecting with it, it grows. Contemplation. Open yourself to Kuan Yin of treasures when you notice that you have lost your sense of inner abundance and you feel empty and exhausted. She can help you to reorient yourself and create worldly goals without neglecting your spiritual practice. Get to know your greatest treasure in life, which is you. I don't know if you guys can hear the bar next door to me. I don't know. They're having some band there playing, what is it? Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Isa, Critical Break, and Zakia. Okay, so tonight what I wanted to do was work a little bit with my Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. So that's what I'm going to shuffle. And this is for you, Critical Break, pulling a card for you. And I thank everyone who has joined us so far. Thank you for being here. And those who have left us, I thank you for sharing your energy with us. And this is for you, Critical Break. So go ahead and, drop into your heart center and ask yourself that question or what, is for you. Please do not type any questions into the chat room. Thank you, Silly. Please do not type any questions into the chat room. I'm just pulling cards and whatever message Spirit has for you. Okay. This is for Critical Break. Critical Break, this is for you. Okay. Triumphant success. Triumphant success. I like this. Almost looks like a double-edged sword. You got the light and the dark. That hand piercing up through the ground as if it sprouted. You've planted your seeds and you've been working hard, allowing those seeds to just blossom and come to fruition. And you're about to round that corner where you are going to break through, and there's this incredible success awaiting for you. Whether it's taming your inner demons, writing that book that you've wanted to write, getting that exact message that you need to receive. And Spirit is reaching up to you, critical break, and letting you know that you are triumphant and you will be successful. Let's check out what John Holland has to say about his card, Triumphant Success. I was just sharing with you some of my thoughts in it, and oh my gosh. Let's see. Give me 1 second so I can figure out where this. So this is in the mental, and this is the indigo card. So this is connected to mental, let's see, air. Okay, so we're looking at page 113. Triumphant success. The first of the mental cards signifies new beginning, and exciting challenges may be before you. By utilizing your strength, willpower, determination, and focus, there's the potential for you to reign triumphant in many areas of your life. In a traditional tarot, this card represents Ace of Swords, and since a sword is double-edged, it can cut through all barriers that hold you back, and if it's done constructively and with precision. Remember, there's another side to the blade. If you're rash or use it in a destructive way, it could be harmful to yourself or others. Always pause and think before you act. This card is a reminder to vanquish negative thoughts from your mind, strengthen and tap your mental powers, and use clarity and control in order to initiate new ways of thinking. And you see that hand is coming up out of the ground. There's something that you've been working on lately that you've planted, and those seeds are coming to fruition. So use that power wisely. And Zakia, are you still there? Zakia, let me know if you are there. And Isa, let me know if you are there. So this card is for Zakia. Okay, Zakia Solomon, are you still there? Okay. Alrighty. Okay, let me just get this one out. Okay, your card is material and spiritual prosperity. The number 6 physical card represents a peaceful, tranquil time when problems seem to actually disappear. A sudden bonus, pay raise, or even a promotion could be in the offering. It could be expected to arrive out of the blue. This card may also signify a group that has worked and strived towards the success of a common goal. A time of prosperity, balance, harmony in your physical and spiritual existence is showing you that the practice of giving and receiving will bring you true riches. Look into your life and see where you can spread spiritual and physical wealth. Is there a person or favorite charity that would welcome an act of kindness right now? Patience, generosity, and compassion and gratitude, so that you practice generosity, gratitude, and compassion so that you continue to prosper in all areas of your life. So there you go. That's for you, Zakia. And last but not least, Isa. And then I'm going to have to get going. It was really great connecting with everyone this evening. I'm glad that spoke to you, Critical Break. You are welcome, Zakia, Isa. We have for you, Isa, patience. And I believe this one is connected with the Temperance card in the traditional tarot. So what is that, number 14? Patience. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So number 14. Okay, so patience. Bear with me while I'm finding this. This card signifies the need for patience, self-control, adjustment, moderation, and balance when dealing with others as well as yourself. This could be in the areas of how you think and work and how you handle school, recreation, the people in your life, or the spiritual path that's set before you. As a soul, you have more than one aspect of yourself to draw onto for support. It's all about integration and learning to blend and balance both the physical and the spiritual. You are an ethereal being in a physical body enjoying a human experience. Therefore, since you are both, you should honor all of you. If you go through life denying yourself the joy of combining these aspects, you're missing out on so much of what the world has to offer. Why accept a life that's half lived? The patience card reminds you to open your heart and mind and allow yourself to listen to other people's ideas, thoughts, and perspectives. Blissful harmony can be achieved when everyone learns to work as one. All benefit. Listening, sharing, and reaching out will help you renew your faith in yourself and humankind. You'll become more aware of the miracles around you, as well as the ones that you have a hand in creating. So this is all about temperance and balance. So take time to really check in with yourself and really, take some time to really weigh out the situation that you're currently finding yourself in before you decide to make a move. So there you go, Isa. You are welcome, Isa. All right. Thank you, everyone. And Critical Break, are you planning on going live on your channel? If not, I would love to speak with you on the telephone if you are available. If you still have my number, if you can give me a call. I would love to talk with you if you have a few minutes. So thank you everyone for being here this evening. Please remember to like this video, thumbs up, please share. Let's take a moment to take a nice deep centering breath to remember our ancestors and all those who have transitioned before us. I wish you peace and great bliss, and thank you so much. And Critical Break, I can't seem to find your email address. Oh, actually, I know where to find it. If you can send me your email, not send me your email, email me your phone number. If you can do that for me, or I will email you mine, CB. So thank you guys. Much love. Much love. Peace.